Another issue that you may have is when you are working with Sublime Text, it may not allow you to save files and it will keep saying permissions denied. And of course, one of the things that you can do to override that is to open Sublime with sudo, but then it's going to ask you for your password every time you save a file. So we need to change some things around. What we're going to do is we're going to allow you, the user, to have write permissions to all of the files with any folder and any one down from that folder. So first of all, you need to know who you are as a user. You may not know that, and you can get in that simply by saying, "Who am I?" on the command line. And it will tell you, Rick, that's who I am. And you notice that it's lowercase. This is something that you went through in a wizard when you first installed the Ubuntu server. So we're going to say sudo chown -R. So now you put in your username, whatever that is, and the files that you would like to have permission to edit at will. And this is where they are on Ubuntu. If you're on some other system like WAMP or XAMPP, it would be from root to however it is that you get to the htdocs. So we can enter that, and if you haven't been in sudo for a while, it would ask you for your password. If not, you're fine. So now you can freely open Sublime Text files and edit them at will. Another way to fix the problem of permissions as far as your editing programs are concerned is to add users to the group, and specifically yourself. So I'm going to change directory into my home directory from where I am now. You can see where I am. Now, the way you can find out who you are is basically if you look at the name, well, it may be a little different in your terminal. The best way to do it is just to type "Who am I?" and that will tell you who you are, because you're going to need your username. What you're going to do is you're going to add yourself to the name group of where your web server resides, and you do that by typing this sudo gpasswd. Everybody wants to go ahead and put the OR in there, but it's not gpassword, it's gpasswd. And then -a, your username, in this case my name is Rick, and you want to tell it which group you're going to assign yourself to. In this case, it's www.data. Okay, and it will ask you for your password. And I don't think I did that right. Let's try this again. Here we go. I've got my caps lock on, that's why. Okay, and then the next thing to do is go ahead and change the ownership of the www data to yours, to the same as who you of you as the owner. So we're going to type sudo chown -R, your username, and now the ones that we're going to change, www-data, and then where we want the ownership. And now we're done. Now you should have no problems opening and editing files. The date time zone issue that a lot of installations have concerning their php.ini file. If you're receiving errors about fixing your date time zone, let's go ahead and get that fixed. The first thing that you'll need to do, of course, is to open up a terminal. That's Control-Alt-T, and you're going to need to edit a couple of files. There are two of them. When you start your Apache browser, then the php.ini that is being loaded, the initialization file that's being loaded, is being taken from one place. However, if you start it from the command line, the initialization process is being taken from another source. So you need to edit both of them. Let's start with Apache. You'll need administrative privileges, so open as sudo. Let's go with nano. We're going to do the editing with nano itself. And we're going to be opening this file, etc, that's from root, etc php5 apache 2 / php.ini. And it's going to ask you for your password. And there's the file. Now, I've already fixed this, so I'm going to find it, and this is what you'll do as well. And let me go ahead and increase this a little bit so that you can see. And we're going to do Control W. That means where is. It's the same as search in other programs. And what you're going to be searching for is semicolon date.timezone. Now, of course, I have already fixed it, so the semicolon won't be there. And if you will do that, and you can see it right here. Now, probably what's going to happen is you will see something like this. This is probably what you have. And of course, what you're going to need to do is put in an actual time zone that makes sense. You can look that up on the PHP website as to what is available. I think for Central, for instance, you can use America / Toronto, and Eastern, which is where I am, it's New York with an underscore. And then, of course, you exit the file, save modified, yes, and hit enter, and you're done. For this particular file, you're going to need to restart Apache. And that command looks like this. You'll need to do it as sudo, etc. We're going to find the program Apache 2 restart. Now, the next one we're going to edit is the one from the command line, because once you're in there, you can do app console. This is one of the commands that you'll be using all the time. Server start or server run. Here you're not going to need to restart anything, because every time you call that command from the PHP command line interface, it automatically views the php.ini file every time. So let's go ahead and open the file that we need, and that one is found in etc. php5 cli php.ini. And you'll need to do the same as before, Control W for search, and you will search for date.timezone. Of course, for me, it won't find that. I'll put in what I need to find, and there it is. And you'll do the same thing here as you did before. Uncomment it by getting rid of the semicolon, and oops, I did that wrong. And of course, put in something meaningful: America, New York, America, Toronto. You can look up anything else. Just look for date time zone locations. There are many of them, of course. Put it in and save. So we're going to exit out of this by Control X, save by saying save modified buffer. We're going to say yes and enter, and we're done.